Good morning, Thedas. How's everybody been? It has been a while since our last recording, and we're excited to get back to it. Today, I have my wonderful co-hosts. I have Molly,
What's up?
and we have Jess.
Hello.
Jess is
I'm,
first. Oh, we got.
I'm giving a round of applause when I'm here.
This is Jess's first time on the podcast.
Yes, forgive my poor imitation of the worm in Labyrinth.
We are very, very glad to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I am happy to be here.
All right. And today, we will be discussing Mass Effect Legendary Edition because by now, I'm pretty sure we've all beaten and played it. If not, then we at least know everything because we've all played the trilogy before anyway.
This is my first playthrough.
Oh yeah, that's why I said like I was talking about me and Jess for that part really, but
Oh,
this is
yeah.
this I was about to say next. This was Molly's first time playing the trilogy.
yeah.
Yeah, so we are gonna be talking about that today, and getting her thoughts and trading opinions and all that kind of shit. So let's just hop on into it. Molly, uh, this is how I'll start it, right? So, how do
Okay.
you feel? I'll ask you about each game. How do you feel in Mass Effect 1?
Okay. So, story-wise, I enjoyed it. I understand the Mako being a piece of shit. Um, uh, graphic-wise, I feel like if I played it beforehand, I would have appreciated the upgraded graphics more. Um, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite in the trilogy. I feel like it sets up the rest of the trilogy, like, great. Um, the ending, the big bad boss, that was enjoyable. I fucking loved that.
Yeah,
Saren, you got my Snapchat where I was like, nah, he's gonna pop up. I've played too many Dragon Age to know he's gonna pop up. And he
yeah.
fucking did. So, no, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. Yeah, my Shepherd, I decided to just go full Paragon, because that's how I would probably react, period. Um, and I feel like my Shepherd's really pretty. Y'all should go check out my Twitter to see my Shep. Uh, and yeah, I had a great first game, I think.
Good, good. Uh, so how'd you feel about Mass Effect 2?
I loved it way more than Mass Effect 1.
That's the
The
general
beginning,
opinion. That's usually what people say.
the beginning, threw me off a little bit.
Hmm.
It's like I was like, wait, I thought I'm supposed to hate Cerberus, but now I'm working with these people. And like setting up that like great like conflict with like Shepard and like who they're working with is like it's like so good. I love it plot wise. Um the characters were so much more fun, I feel like too in Mass Effect 2. I had a lot more fun talking to people.
I agree.
Um because talking to Ashley kind of just was like, you're being racist, can you not? And then talking to Kaden, I like Kaden. I
Hey,
just
hey,
I know
Kaden
that's
love her hair,
I know
okay?
I'm walking real delicately. I don't not dislike him, but I see him more of like a big bro than anything else. So like in the
Hmm.
first game, that set it up for me a little bit. Um, it was cool to see like the conflict between Shepard being technically Cerberus now, but still be a Spectre, but still technically be Alliance, but disowned by the Alliance. I don't know. I really liked it. And the suicide mission stressed me the fuck out.
No, I bet.
I was following a guide throughout all of two just so that I wouldn't have anyone die. Because I heard suicide mission, but I was like, oh, this is gonna be like Mass Effect 1, where they say, like, oh man, this is gonna go badly if we don't do anything. But it still ends up fine. But like this time, like if you did do anything, everyone fucking dies. And like,
You had to protect the
um,
homies.
Yeah, no, I felt so protected of them too. Everybody was so fucking cool in Mass Effect 2. Um, I wanted everyone to be my friend, and it worked out that way. So.
So, quickly, just to throw this in before we go on to Mass Effect 3, I
Yeah.
have this one opinion,
Uh-oh.
and I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I feel
Take
like
hot takes coming to you from GMT. Land the steam. Sorry.
I don't know if everybody likes Garrus in Mass Effect 1, but I think he's kind of lame in Mass Effect 1.
He's so lame.
Yeah, like I feel like most of the characters, once you look back on them throughout the rest of the trilogy, they all seem kind of really cardboardy.
Yeah. Mass Effect 1, I was like, oh, Garrus is cool. He's funny. Sarcasm, great. Mass Effect 2, he was fucking hilarious the entire time. And he was like #1 bro, and I was like, I get it now.
Yeah, Mass Effect 1, he's just kind of like, I am a cop. Hello.
Yeah. And then it's like, now I'm Archangel, and I'm all like, vigilante justice.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. And then we almost lost Garrus, and that's the first time I cried in the trilogy. No, that was the second time I cried in the trilogy, because the first time was when Saren came back up, and I was like, how the fuck am I gonna fight this fucker?
You cried when he got back up?
I freaked out a little bit. I swear I said he was mad, but I was like,
I saw the
"Yo,
steps.
what the fuck?" Second time was when Gareth almost died. I was like, now my #1 bro.
I was say, Jess, how do you share our feeling with like Mass Effect 1 and the characters being a little cardboard to start?
Well, I'm not gonna ever say anything disparaging about my Canadian comfort man.
Of course.
But there is definitely a different tone with the companions in the first game versus the second one. And I think it's because maybe BioWare came into their stride with the game.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, I enjoyed talking with everybody in the first game, but I think it's more like a professional atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know?
got. Like, everybody's respecting Shep.
Exactly. So it's more like professional, get this done,
Mhm.
like typical military fashion. And then you have B2, which is, Shep is basically a free agent,
Yeah.
so to speak. So there's a bit more of a focus on
Yeah.
readying the team,
Yeah.
So you have to be personally proud.
My I want to preface this by saying that like I love Mass Effect 1. It's the one I played I mean I probably played 2 the most, but besides 2, I think it was 1 I played the most because that gap between 2007 and 2011. Oh, no, it was 2008. 2008 and 2011, I just played the fuck out of Mass Effect 1 over and over and over again. And the same thing with the gap between 2 and 3. Just like looking back on it now, like I said, I feel like whenever I play Mass Effect 1, it feels like I'm checklisting everything.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so I got to make sure I talk to these people, but then I'm like spamming the skip option because I've heard it so many times, and I'm like, I don't really care that much. But then when I get to Mass Effect 2 and 3, I listen to everything a lot more and all that because I just feel like they get so much better once you hit the 2 and 3. Though Mass Effect 1 does give the atmosphere and all that stuff, the theme and all that kind of shit better than 2 and 3 in my opinion. You feel like this is a space opera thing. In my opinion, you feel that more in Mass Effect 1. But that's just like, the background feel,
I kind of get that. But, like, in 2 and 3, it felt more epic to me.
Oh, yeah,
rather
no,
than
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see all 3 games as one. They're just different chapters.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's how I felt
sure.
playing through it back to back to back.
So that's why, like, for me, I don't have a particular favorite. I love all 3 of them because they basically works well together. It's a story. It's not, I know some people like to play Mass Effect 2 to start. Before I played the
Oh
trilogy,
no.
people tried to dissuade me from playing the first one. They said, "Yo, you don't need to play the first one," and I'm glad I didn't listen because they were wrong.
Yeah, that's very wrong. Yeah, listen, as much as I like 2 and 3 more, like I always play the first one first, no matter what. Like you gotta.
I feel like you would probably lose a lot of the background stuff too, especially since like there are so many side quests that like kind of continue through the trilogy if you do them right. You kind of lose the little stuff like that. But like that's kind of what made it super personal to me. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, this is the same dude sending me a thank you note from last game. Like,
Yeah.
wow, they're still alive. Like,
Or when
Good-
you meet
good. Sorry, I was gonna say good on you for living. Good job.
or when you meet Conrad Werner in the third
Mhm.
game.
okay,
And-
I have an admission. I fucked up and I forgot to do Conrad's second mission, so I didn't see him in this game.
Oh, you did it? Okay.
No.
Then-
I always fuck that
Maybe
up too, to be honest. I go back and I like half the time I forget.
No, it's okay. You can still talk about it.
You know how you collect all the matriarch writings and then you get the Elkos Combine license?
Hmm.
I just love how like you could totally impress him by having all of that stuff. And then he tells you he did his dissertation in like some complicated science technology.
It was
You're
like dark matter or something like that. Like some
Exactly.
crazy shit. And I remember I heard that the first time. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Because everybody assumes that he's not smart, which, I get, like, because of how he behaves in the first two games and even in the third, but there is nobody in Mass Effect that can't program a cell phone. I'm telling you. Like, every single one of them can program a cell phone. And I just find that phenomenal. Because, in real life, you can't get people to do that.
No. All right. Well, next we'll go on to 3. Molly, how'd you feel about Mass Effect 3?
I'm trying. Okay, I'll go through the parts. Like the first chapter, super fucking good. I cried when Morden died. And then I cried when Thane died because he was one of my favorites from ME2.
Mm-hmm.
And like if I didn't romance Garrus, he was gonna be my number 2 pick.
He's also a very big sad moment. I love him.
And like I mean like this whole fucking podcast is spoilers, but like still spoilers. Like I didn't know like he died in the second game or the third game, obviously.
Yeah.
And, like, I was kind of happy I didn't romance him because I did not want to be like depressed for a day. But it's so cool, and then it was really cool to see Kasumi and Thane again. Cause Kasumi was one of my favorites in ME2. Like I brought her on to a lot of the missions actually.
Yeah, she's great.
And to like see everybody else kind of doing their thing was kind of cool. I fucked up the Citadel DLC.
Oh no.
Because I was following a guide, and they were doing it based off what story hits they thought should go in what order, rather than like, this is how to do the Citadel DLC with everybody there.
Mm.
Oh
no.
I didn't have Tally there.
Yeah, I remember you saying that in the Discord you didn't have a tally.
I was so fucking mad at myself. I was like, I want to replay the game just so I could have Tally at the party.
Sorry, good.
Oh, you need her at the party.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah, she's
because
pretty great.
I was like, there's no choice here. We're going hard. Like, we're all fucking getting drunk. Like, come on.
Oh, she gets fucking destroyed, and it's hilarious.
That's what I thought. I was like, knowing her, being kind of like me, I'm gonna forget my limit and get fucking hammered. So yeah, I think I'm gonna I'm gonna replay the series again, obviously, because I want to see the Renegade options. But I'll definitely make sure to have Tally during it.
I
What
can't do
else?
the renegade options. I can't. I feel too bad. The only renegade options that I'm down for is punching reporters and beating James in chin ups. And I'll sit there for 20 minutes just banging out that button until I beat him, just because I want him to not feel so smug. Wait, what?
Contest that I didn't know about.
Yeah, in the Citadel DLC, you can catch James if you keep. So every time you go back to your little house, there's like something new in your house. You got to look around, because like
Oh my god.
at one point I just found James in my like gym area, and he's just doing chin ups and stuff. Or no, he's doing some kind of workout. And then you can get on the chin up thing and start doing it. And he's like, "Oh, well, you can try and beat my score, but I don't think you ever will." And you're like, "Okay, well, how much is it?" And I think it's like 200 or some shit like that. And you have to individually hit the buttons over and over again. And each one is a interrupt. So like the Paragon or Renegade interrupt. So it takes fucking forever. And you just gotta ding. Then he does the chin up. Ding! Then he does the chin up.
Oh my
And it's
god,
that.
no.
But I have to do it. I have to do it because James has got to learn. He's got to learn who's the boss.
I liked James as a character a lot. Like, I enjoyed him being in the game. He was so cool. I wish I talked to him more though, because I feel like I didn't talk to him.
He's definitely like not bad. Like I know a lot of people just like don't like him, but I feel like he's on the same level of like, for me personally, he's on the same level of Ashley and Caden.
No, he is. I feel that.
They're all like equal playing field of like they're all relatively interesting for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't I'm not like super in love with them, though I like Caden more than I like Ashley or James. He's definitely I like him more than both of them. He is definitely my I think he's my favorite human squad mate. I think
But
so.
Kasumi!
Yeah, I like Kasumi, but like my problem with Kasumi, although I love her, is that like once you do her mission in Mass Effect 2, that's pretty much it. She's just there with like occasional comments, and then Mass Effect 3, she's got a fun mission, but again, it's not that much. Whenever they take a companion away for a whole game, and then the next game they bring them in, but they're just like tiny little, like just little tiny
The majority
scenes.
of people in 3.
Yeah, exactly, which really sucks because like it diminishes the character and makes me like not love them as much as I love everybody else. Not because they're bad, but because we don't get that much time with them, so it just kind of sucks. Like I don't like, for example, not that I don't like James, but why did we get James when we could have gotten, for example, Kasumi back, or more Thane, and then he could still die at the same spot, but like
Probably hurt more.
yeah, it's just
Like, I would hurt more.
like I get the narrative reason why, but like I'm just saying there's so many other people that you could have put in. Like, and I love Freddie Prinze Jr. I mean, come on, he's great. But like there's so many other options you could have put in. So yeah, that's my. I don't even know where the fuck I was going. I just ended up in this area of conversation.
It's all good. I'll just pick off where I was at. The only thing that I disliked about 3, because the story, fan-fucking-tastic. The music was so good. The characters were great. I feel like all the like, go and talk to your friends on the Citadel and just make sure they're doing okay because y'all are at war and like trauma's really bad, was great. Excuse me. The only thing I disliked was the total military strength thing and how that impacted the ending.
I feel like that's probably I'm sure there's a good chunk of people out there who don't like it. I don't mind it. It encourages me to get everything in the game done, so that's cool and all.
The thing with me is like being busy a lot.
Yeah.
I really didn't have the time nor energy to go and scan a bunch of different systems
Yeah.
and try to outrun people while doing it just to have a number to be able to get a secret ending.
Yeah.
And then like the ending, I wasn't in the fandom when Mass Effect 3 came out. But I remember very distinctly when it came out, people being really upset with the ending, and I could kind of see it. It is a little, from the climax of the entire game to that, just like one last choice, felt a little off to me. I got really stressed and anxious again because I wanted to pick the right choice. Like I paused on that
This
screen.
is actually very important. Now I gotta know which ending you chose.
I'll get to that. I paused on that screen. I'm sorry, I got back from a festival, so my throat's bad.
You're fine.
And like started flipping through multiple guides to like which one's the canon ending, which one should I choose, like how will this affect Mass Effect 4 or Mass Effect 5, excuse me. But like it really stressed me out. So like I picked to destroy the Geth.
Good. That's the one. That's the one true ending. That's what you should choose.
Because after the fact I read this, like Saren wanted to control them or to sympathize with them and try to learn more from them. Mr. President, who will always be Mr. President to me, wanted to control them. So it felt like the only like true ending was like this was the one goal you had throughout the 3 entire games. Like you can't fuck it up now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had enough that like everyone survived. Everyone survived except Cortez, and I'm really fucking mad.
Oh no, you fucked up Cortez!
I don't know.
No.
Cortez.
You didn't give him enough love.
You have to talk to him all the time
Yeah.
and like meet him at the places that he designates you need to be at.
Yeah.
I didn't beat him anywhere.
Well, technically,
Yes.
I don't know if you know
Oh,
this.
man.
This might make you feel even worse, but technically, you've had more than just Cortez die.
What the fuck does that mean? Who the fuck else died then, Ethan?
Edie.
Oh yeah, no, that made me really sad.
Yeah. Edie's dead.
Like, I spent all this time setting up Joker and Edie
Yeah.
just for her to die, and like I felt bad, but like at the same time, like
Imagine how fucking ruined Joker is now.
don't get me started, dude.
That's why you have headcanons, okay?
Yeah.
I am of the firm belief that the catalyst is liar face. Okay? And that Edie and the Geth don't actually die because they're software.
Mm-hmm.
And they're backed up. I mean, you hear them talking about backing themselves up all throughout like the second and third game. So, and when, Legendary Edition came out, they added that whole Quarian epilogue slide.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed, but it looks a bit too advanced than where they would be without the guest's help. So I'm thinking that they're gonna make Destroy the canon ending.
Oh, for sure. I definitely think they will too.
I'd see it.
And make Edie and the Geth live to kind of like soothe everybody's hurt. Because I'm gonna assume that's the only reason why people didn't just choose Destroy is because of Edie and the Geth.
No, probably.
I imagine that's why too. Every time. Okay, wait, I'm not before I get into a rant here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go and then I'll rant.
I was just gonna say because no judgment on anybody who chooses synthesis and control, but those two are not for me.
No, me neither.
It's okay, guys. I'll judge for you. Now, so Jess, before we go any further, Molly gave her thoughts on the ending, which is a very polarizing topic. When you first played the game compared to now, How did you feel on the endings?
I used the happy ending mod
Is that I'm unaware.
when I first played.
So you cheated. I was.
Well, somebody told me all 3 endings were like so horrible, so I was just like, okay, I'll just use the happy ending. I didn't think I was gonna get this in deep. Okay, like I didn't think I was gonna get this deep. And go ahead.
I feel that because I cried at the end too. Like, I still fucking sobbed.
It's so when I played Legendary Edition, it was the first time I'd seen all 3 endings.
Oh boy.
Or I'd seen the actual real ending.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, people bitched about this. This is not that bad. Like,
Yeah.
No, it really...
I got...
That was the thing I was surprised about, was like, oh, this doesn't seem like that bad. But then I also read... I was watching a TikTok. There's a user on TikTok who was playing through Mass Effect for the first time as well. And, like, apparently they said in their stream that whoever you brought to the, like, ending, like, the 2 companions, like, apparently they just died. And there was, like, nothing you could do about it.
So... So... You talk about in the Legendary Edition?
No, they took it out of the Legendary Edition. I'm talking
Oh,
original
okay. Yeah,
ending.
yeah. So, my perspective, right? So this is where I'm going to go off a little bit. 2012, Mass Effect 3 comes out. I am a little boy. I think I'm in
child.
I think I'm in 8th grade. And I played the fuck out of that game. I got to the ending, I beat it, and I was like, "Oh man, that was fucking awesome! I loved that. That was so good." And then I see everybody online freaking the fuck out, losing their minds, and I'm like, I don't understand why nobody likes this. I think this is great. And then they, the discourse goes on and on and on, and then Bioware's like, we're gonna add a DLC to make the ending better. And I was like, oh my god, how can it get any better? And then they released the DLC. It's fucking awesome. And then I'm sitting there and I beat it. And I'm like, wait a second. It was kind of shit. Without the DLC, it was kind of shit. Oh fuck! And and now every time I play it now, I very much love what they did to it, and they made it so much better. If you go back and do the original one, after playing the Legendary, you'll be like, oh wow, yeah, they did fuck this up pretty bad.
I think
Yeah.
I like watched a video on it, and like I could tell the difference. Like, it's a lot more cloudy about like what the fuck happened after.
Yeah.
Compared to how LE did a great job of like wrapping it up.
Yeah. Well, again, even if you didn't play Legendary Edition, if you just had the original games with the fixed ending DLC, like that's enough. Like the Legendary Edition just incorporates it directly into the game. But yeah, playing that extended ending DLC definitely made it so much better that when I played it, I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, this is light years better. And even then, people still bitch and moan about it. And yeah, I mean, I guess there could have been more stuff, but like, there's only so much manpower and money to go around, and like, you gotta get what you can get, man.
I think that people personally overrated it because I was reading that somebody filed a lawsuit against BioWare.
I'm not surprised. People are, and they'll do anything to get money.
I'm just like, how entitled do you have to be to get this upset over a video game that you would file a lawsuit? Because I'm sorry, like, you are not entitled to anything. Mm-hmm. If you chose to buy it, you took the risk.
Yeah, I could kind of see it, because, like, I didn't watch a video of the 2 other endings, because I still haven't decided if I wanted to go back and try to get the other 2. But, like, I don't know, it felt like it was a great ending to the game. But, like, now that I know that, like, there's a chance that you could get, like, a 3-second clip of Shepard just breathing in, now I'm so determined to go back and get it.
Have you just looked it
and
up?
I looked it up and watched it, and now I'm like, well, now I need this to be my canon. Like,
Molly, may I introduce you to the Double the War Acids mod?
you did give me that mod, and I'm gonna download it.
And it also removes the Reapers chasing you, which...
Oh, I like that
sorry.
part. That part's pretty good.
No, that gives me so much anxiety because, like, I cannot properly scan this, so I just click on scanning everything.
Yeah, so my problem with that isn't like the anxiety part. My problem is the frustration of having to like leave and then come back and then leave and then come back to try and like get it, like they'll get the scan just right so you can get it before they touch you, and it just gets really fucking frustrating.
Well, this mod. Sorry.
No, go. No, you go.
The mod just really makes the Normandy stealth mode shine by making sure you're never seen by the Reapers.
That's great. You know what? I never even thought about that. What the fuck? What about the stealth systems?
They're really good.
The Reapers don't have eyes.
But as soon as you fucking get to scan and shit, they're like, they're right there.
That's what I'm gonna. Wait a second. I think we've just discovered the loophole. When the fuck did you get eyes? They don't have Reaper eyes. There's nobody in there. They're not looking out a window.
It's a structural weakness.
That's it, Jess. I'm filing a lawsuit.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else in 3 that I really liked. I cried when we lost Legend.
Legion, yeah. Oh, big sad, big sad. He's a good boy.
That mission seemed really tedious, but like looking back, like at the beginning, I was like, "What the fuck? I just gotta destroy a bunch of shit." All right, cool. I do this every day. But looking back on it, it was such a cool little way of being like, "Oh, so that's how the Geth and the Quarians got into a fight."
Yeah.
Like it gave so much more context to that I felt was really lost in the first and second games in a really tasteful way. And I really enjoyed that mission. And I'm really fucking pissed I couldn't see Tally's face and I had to find out the baby that the only way you could do it is if you romance her. But she's my best fucking friend, man.
Yeah, it's kind of I still think it's kind of bullshit that you can't. Also, do you know about the original games and how the controversy with Tally's face?
No, what's wrong?
So
wasn't it a face model from like Getty Images? Or
yeah,
something?
they went on like Google and Getty Images and just took a random woman and just gave her 3 fingers and kind of made her whiter.
No.
And it looked really. Oh my god! Wait, you're gonna hear me clacking in the podcast. I gotta send it to you. Oh my god.
Pretty.
Yes.
Can you blame them? I mean, look at some of the characters. Their eyes are like near their hairline.
Yeah. Oh god. All right.
Are we talking about Caden's Ken-looking hair? That it looks kind of like plastic all the time.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much everybody, to be honest.
Oh yeah. If I could ever figure out how to do textures, that hair texture is on my list of mods to make.
Molly, I'm sending
Send it to me when you do it.
I'm sending you the comparison right now. This is the comparison. This is on the left is the original game of what Tally's face looked like. Right is new.
Okay, where is it at?
I'm sending it to you personally on Discord.
Ah, gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, those are the differences in the picture.
Oh yeah, I'd be a little upset too.
They're like,
cause like she
people
looks
were
really
pissed.
human.
People were so
and, like,
pissed.
You could tell they just photoshopped off the last 2 figures.
And then they just put a whole bunch of fucking light on the left side to like obscure it even more. So
yeah,
it's so.
But it also doesn't make sense because Tally wouldn't have not have her suit on.
Well, that picture was taken on Rannoch. So it's supposed to be like, oh, she can walk around without the suit on Rannoch. So.
Wait. Okay, I think we came into something that doesn't work here. Well, if that picture shows up in Me Too, Tally set foot on Rannoch until the third game.
No, it's in Mass Effect 3.
But I thought there was like a picture for Mass Effect 2.
I don't think so. Pretty sure it's Mass Effect. It's
Right.
just Mass Effect 3 is when you get it.
So I'm very confused.
No, yeah, you get the picture after the mission on Rannoch. Well, I mean, at the end of the game, but like it's after Rannoch.
Okay, that makes sense now. I'm a Caden romancer, so when I see the picture, it's in me too. And I just always just
well, yeah,
assumed that it was like
yeah,
a
you
game.
get pictures in ME2 too, but the one you get to see Tali's face for the first time is ME3.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, people were not happy with Tali's face reveal.
I kind of get it. Like, you'd get really pissed off too, but like at the same time, you gotta remember, like, that was probably like a last minute, like, oh fuck, we still gotta do Tally's face.
I think it was.
And like,
I think it was like they were crunching really hard, didn't have any time, and they're like, "Oh wait, we didn't make a model for the character without the helmet on." Shit.
Get a dude who's all right at Photoshop to get at it. Go.
Yeah, pretty much.
What else?
Well, I would say I'll ask you what throughout all three games, who would you say is your top character?
Garrus. Not only because the romance was so sweet, it was so cute. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I wish that I kind of didn't romance him.
Why?
Cause I was watching like this TikToker, and she didn't romance Garrus, but you still had that like closeness of like, you're my best fucking friend, and you'll always
for
have
sure.
my six.
That is great about him. That's why, like, whenever, well, obviously I play as a male shepherd like 99% of the time, just because I feel that I'm more closest to the character because I can identify with them. So I usually play as a male. And Garrus is just like the ultimate fucking bro. He is your brother.
And like, I wish that like I could have had that. But the romance with him was still really sweet, and I still really like it. And the salsa scene, I literally was, I get secondhand embarrassment really easily from like media, and I was so fucking embarrassed because I was like, I could never do it. And then, like, I remember screaming in Discord about it, and I was just like, James freaking Vega! But, it was so cute, and I really enjoyed it, and, I get why people ship Garrus a lot. I get that. I think my next playthrough, I will probably try Caden's, just so I could get that 3 Pete achievement.
Yeah. God, can't get it because of Garrus.
Yeah, because they didn't think a bunch of alien fuckers would wanna.
I don't think you can. So I romance Liara. Liara is my favorite in the entire trilogy. She's also my favorite character in the series. Period.
Oh.
Yeah, she is my favorite. And I don't even remember if you get the achievement for all 3 games for romancing her. I don't think you do. Because even if you romance her in 2, it's like it's part of the DLC and stuff. I don't think it actually triggers the achievement. So I'm pretty sure I have to romance Ashley to get it.
Because I know you like Liara the most.
Why?
Oh, I said no. I mean, I know you like Liara the most.
Yeah.
So it'd be a shame to romance someone that when you miss out on her.
Oh yeah. I mean, every time I haven't played Legendary Edition romancing anybody else yet because I only did one playthrough, and then I was like, all right, that's a fuck ton of hours of my life. I have to do something else.
Oh my god, it felt bad.
I've played this game so fucking much over the years. I have to take a minute and do something else. I have such a fucking dummy thick backlog of games that I have to do something. So, but literally like the last 2 nights in a row, I've been in my room and I've been like, I should definitely start up another playthrough. I really should. And then I'm like, no, I can't. I have like 5 games I'm playing right now.
I took down the Reaper in Rannoch today.
Ooh.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. I died the first time, but second time.
So you know,
No,
it's really
I did too.
yeah.
I was like, wait, you want me to shoot a freaking Reaper right now? Excuse me? By myself? I did, like, once I got the pattern down, it was really easy, but I was like, what the fuck is this?
You know what's really funny about it, right? So I again playing it since release all the way to 2012. I had never died to that thing before. I'd always been like, "Oh, this is so fucking easy," and then I played Legendary Edition, and then I think I died the first try. I got fucking smoked. I was like, "How the fuck did I do that?" What? I didn't even know that you could actually die, and then it was actually rough that time. I was like, "Why is this strangely harder?"
First time I played Me 3, Dr. Ava killed me.
Oh no!
That was so hard, but I noticed in Legendary Edition, like, it's easy to tank her, like, kill her, like, she's gone. Versus when I played it, the original trilogy, I had to the console code to enable, like, more bullets. Because she would just keep smoking me. Like, I'd end up dead. But oh man. But is it obvious who my favorite is?
You did your mic did a little bit of lag there, but I know that you said is obvious who your favorite character is, and I'm pretty sure it's Caden.
Oh yes. Well, aside from FemShep, like female shepherd, who is my ultimate favorite, Caden is like my favorite. I know a lot of people in the fandom like don't like him, which boggles my brain because he's a good guy. When like there are worse characters in the game that you could be so vicious about,
like you should hate Jacob. Everybody should hate Jacob. Jacob sucks.
I didn't really like Jacob, but like I don't dislike Caden. I feel like he could have, like, in my opinion, I feel like the first game kind of set him up not so well as a character, so people left with a bad taste in their mouth in, like, 2 and 3. But that's why I want to romance him, to try to give him, like, another chance. I feel like I'd like him a lot more, but...
It doesn't help that, like, for Liara, for Ashley and Caden, you have to romance them to get their better, deeper story in the first game versus, like, Liara or Gareth.
Is Viwar's fault that Caden doesn't get enough love and that kind of thing?
Oh, well, it's because, like, the way they have the romances set up, because, you know, the whole ninja mancing and just, like, how you don't get to know a person deeper unless you're actually romancing them. So that really kind of cuts character development at the knees.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you're romancing them and you're doing all the quests. I have a friend who played the first game over again and did all the Cerberus quests.
Mm-hmm.
And she realizes now why Caden was so upset in Mass Effect 2. She didn't understand before. And then she realized, oh wait, okay, now it makes sense why he would be upset, because I did all those quests. And I'm also like, because you got space. Like, this is not like getting lost at sea where you can hit land eventually. Oh, no. You're out in space where it is like infinite space pretty much. So anybody who sees you alive has like rightfully to be suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And especially if you're, you know, walking in with Cerberus after what they did in Mass Effect 1. So she was just like, I totally get it now. I'm not mad at him anymore.
I was never upset with him. Like, I totally got it into... I was like, nah, I don't want to be associated with these bitches either. Like...
Well, some people get all upset about it, and they have no idea why he's so angry at Shepard. And I'm thinking to myself, it's because you're not seeing it from his point of view. Mm-hmm. You're seeing it as, I worship Shepard. Like, everybody needs to, like, kiss Shepard's butt.
Yeah, no, and you also gotta remember, like, Caden is Alliance 2, and he's seeing, like, at real time what Cerberus is doing to other human colonies and the bullshit that they're doing. So, like,
go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's okay. Honestly, please do. I rant so much. I feel like it was 100% a needed wake-up call to Shep. Because, like, she's getting all these dossiers, she's getting all these people who are like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care who we're with. And, like, you have Garrus who's like, as long as I'm with you, I don't give a fuck. Which, good shit. Anyways. And then you finally come to, like, Caden, or I guess it would be Ashley as well at this point, and they're like, what the actual fuck are you doing, Shepard? And I feel like that's, like, the first, like, kind of wake-up call of, oh, we are not in a very good position, but we really don't have any choice right now.
Yeah.
Well, and I also want to mention, I'm a military bro, and so I know firsthand that military life, if you're a soldier, you take an oath, and you can't just walk away from your duties. I mean, you can get court-martialed, put into jail.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have the freedom a civilian does. I remember once my dad was told by his commanding officer, if we wanted you to have a family, we would have issued you one. That's pretty much what the military is. And unless you understand that mentality, it comes across as he's betraying you or being disloyal when he's not. Like, Caden is very principled, very by the book. You play the first game, you've seen what Cerberus does. And beginning of the Mass Effect 2, Shepard's space. So it's only natural for him to be suspicious, I think. You know, it sucks.
Yeah.
that he's suspicious of you, but
I agree. He has every right.
But I mean, to me, he apologizes to you in the third game. Like, he tells you, you know, I'm really sorry. Like, I was wrong about you. And that, to me, that's huge.
No, that was so nice to have. Like, I was like, oh man, I don't want to just try to recruit Caden when I know he's upset at me still. Like, that closure was so nice to have as, like, a first-time player, because I was like, my goal is everyone's gonna be my friend. and it helped.
And I want to also defend Ash, too. Because I know a lot of people call her the space racist. But I'm just going to go ahead and say that Garrus and Rex say way worse crap.
No, they do.
And Tally says way worse crap. And humans do not have power in the Mass Effect universe. So it's not the same. And Turians attacked humans without provocation. So there's a lot of reasons why she's legitimately the way she is. I mean, to me, it would only be problematic if she let it affect her ability to do her job or how she treats other people, which she doesn't. And you see character growth in her.
Oh yeah.
In the third game. You know, and she doesn't side with the extremists that are, you know, anti-alien. She thinks Terra Firma Party and Cerberus are extreme. So I honestly think people hate Caden, Ashley, and James because they're human. Honestly.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that just find them less interesting because they're human.
Exactly. I mean, but the thing is, you don't. For me, Mass Effect is the first games where I actually liked everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the problematic people. I loved Saren. Like, I don't normally like
Saren.
villains.
Saren's great.
Yeah.
And I thought he was so complex, so well done. and I loved the Elusive Man. Like,
Oh my God, Mr. President!
he has that Mad Men, you know, like
Good old Martin
swagger
Sheen.
vibe going on.
Mhm.
Exactly. It is basically 1950s, 1960s Martin Sheen being himself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I went on Google Images and found a young picture of him, and that is it. They designed the Elusive Man after his look.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge compliment.
Oh, yeah.
I love his acting. So when I saw him and like I heard his voice, I was like,
I was with you when you did
no!
it. I was with her. I was watching her play, and she's like, "Wait a second, Mr. President!"
President Bartlett.
Literally called him Mr. President the entire game. I couldn't call him anything else. But I love the Elusive Man, and I'm not saying that I don't like Ashley. Even in the first game alone, I feel like she grew as a character. Because even
Yeah.
if you sacrifice her, which I did because I couldn't lose Kaden, she was like, okay, I'll do it for these aliens that I never really enjoyed and never really liked, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I agree with like all the humans in the game get such a bad rap. But it's only because they're not, and it's not only because they're not as interesting as all the other characters, but it's also like their story arcs are still so human. Like they're doing like the decision making and all that like we would probably go through too. That us as players are like, but I want to know more about Rex or Garrus or Tally or Liara's thinking. Cause like at first I didn't like Miranda either. But, like, after talking to her and seeing where she's coming from and seeing how Cerberus is still fucking with her even though she works with her, and how she's just like, alright, fuck it, I'm still gonna be a boss-ass bitch. I appreciated her, like, so much more at the end of 3.
I love Miranda so much.
Miranda's
like,
great.
I love her.
She would be my number one romance until you get there in Mass Effect 3 and they don't give her enough. Again, she's one of those characters that they didn't make her a squad mate, so she doesn't get enough time with me, which makes it which upsets me so much because I loved her in Mass Effect 2. She was like, I was like, you just knocked Liara off the pedestal, and then Mass Effect 3 came around and she's barely in it, and I was like, oh fuck. Well, I guess Liara, you're right back up there on the pedestal. Oh man.
Honestly, I no one has to pick and choose like humans or aliens.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like better. It is okay to like everyone. If you do, you know, you don't.
And it doesn't give you the right, and this is a fandom, and this might sound preachy, but it doesn't give you the right to bash people for what they like.
Of course.
Oh God. I'm a Kaden fan, so you can imagine the abuse that
No, I 100% am saying that to like the people who like Kaden, or people who romance Ashley, or people who prefer Jacob. Like, you guys shouldn't be bashed for who you like.
Listen, the only reason you should be bashed is if you choose any ending that's not destroy. For that, you must be bashed. I'm sorry.
No.
I know. I'm playing.
I actually really like Jacob, but I feel like BioWare did him really dirty.
Oh, he's insanely boring.
I enjoyed
to me.
Jacob, but the ending of Jacob's storyline felt so fucking basic.
They did him dirty. They pretty much like did every bad stereotype and threw it up on him.
So
Oh,
sorry, good. Sorry.
So it's just like I feel bad for him because I feel like he is a good guy and he is a good character. It's just bad writing.
Yeah. So I hear that a lot. The whole they put the stereotypes on him and stuff, and yeah, they do. But like, honestly, I think, in my opinion, the one of the big stereotypes that they give him is the best part of his entire character, and that's the stereotype with his dad being shitty. I think, although I don't like Jacob, and I think he's a very like D tier character. I don't even remember what I gave him on my tier list when I did it. But he's very low tier in my view. But his loyalty mission is one of my favorites. I really like his loyalty mission, and I think that there's so much quality narrative there. It's such an interesting premise. It's such an interesting concept what they do with his dad and the crashing on the planet, no food, and all that kind of stuff. I love that. But then that's the peak of Jacob for me, and then he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I always do his loyalty quest. I find it very uncomfortable.
You find it uncomfortable?
Like,
I was in the same.
Oh, is it because of the women angle?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because I mean, you're not a woman, so
No, of
it's
course.
a very different. It's a very different experience when you're seeing all this stuff and you're watching these women, and I mean, I'm not one to shy away from uncomfortable things in games because I realize that's like real life too.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see how it added to the story, but at the same time, like, I feel like they could have maybe avoided that whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't. I feel like it added to his dad being more of an asshole, but like it wasn't like necessary to point out how much of an asshole he was.
Exactly.
It just made, I feel like for me too, it made me really uncomfortable because I was like, ooh, that's a topic I don't like hitting anywhere, period.
Yeah.
So
well,
it was just unfortunate writing, I think, to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, as a man, not a woman, I didn't have that reaction, and I never really thought about it that way, only because it doesn't, I'm not a woman.
Well,
so I just kind of was like, oh yeah, he's a piece of shit, and we should get rid of him. And that's just about it. I don't really think about it any further than that. I mean, yeah, I know that he's like what he's done is a horrible thing, like beyond terrible and all that. But I don't have the emotional. I don't know what the word is here. I don't feel it like a woman would feel it.
It's gonna hit you a different way naturally.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
When I play Project Overlord, that DLC, that hits me particularly personally because I'm autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like sensory issues, like with whole light and sound.
Mm-hmm.
When the AI starts making that noise during
the screaming noise.
Yes, that just like that is nails on chalkboard for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I always play that DLC because I have to save David.
Yeah.
Because I have completely identified with him, and when you see him again in the third game, and he's so happy and healthy,
it's so nice.
Especially if you bring Edie with you.
Mm-hmm.
Edie, oh god, that is such a heartwarming, like, wholesome moment when Edie like looks at him and she's all smiling and happy, saying he looks good, and she's just so gentle with him. It's like a rare, like it's one of those moments where you could see her really being more than just this robotic artificial intelligence.
Yeah, one of her more human moments for sure. I love that moment. It's great. I don't know. I probably won't go too deep into this only because I don't know. I'm not trying to start a shitstorm, but I personally am not a huge fan of whenever people are like, I don't know. They ask to like take things out, and I know a lot of people were really trying to push them to get rid of the Overlord DLC, and because of the negative way that it treats a person with neurodivergencies and such, autism.
Yeah. I can tell you right now that all the autistic people that I personally know, and parents of autistic people actually love David Archer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to speak for like all autistic people, just like for myself and the people I know. Bad things happen to us in real life. Like it. not to make this a controversial thing, but bad things do happen to us in real life. So why wouldn't a bad thing happen to us in video games?
Mm.
I mean, like, bad things happen to women in real life. They would happen in video games.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like bad things happen. Period. And whenever
Exactly.
bad shit happens in a game, people are like, oh no, please remove censor. I'm like, can you not though? Because like, it's important. things like this are important to show and to get across that, like, things.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just like, it's important to tell stories.
Exactly. Let me just put it to you this way. I think that those types of things should be included because it helps people like myself process those things safely.
Yeah.
Because it's fiction, you can handle these like bigger, deeper, complex, ugly things in a safe way because it's not real. Versus like seeing this shit in real life.
Yeah.
Really fucks with your brain,
Yeah.
And so like fiction helps you process that nasty, ugly stuff. Like, I mean, I went to graduate school for psychology, and one of the things that they tell you is writing your shit helps. Like, it helps you process this stuff. That's why like a lot of assault survivors will write fiction, and it'll be dark because it's helping them to process these complex emotions and get it out. And it's just, I mean, you want to be careful of all the media that you're consuming, so I think things should have like trigger warnings and tags and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's understandable for sure.
But at the same time, you cannot censor everything. Like, you just can't, because it's a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's like you're lying to people by censoring media.
And like, I feel like game guides probably do a really good job too of being like, hey, just a heads up, this includes an autistic character. Like, if you're not cool with that, you might want to skip this mission. I feel like I agree that you can't really like censor stuff because like we need to give people a space to see themselves in like entertainment and games and stuff. So that's why I'm like, Femme Shep is one of the coolest characters I've ever seen, and I like, because it's very rare to see a strong female lead who's not like hypersexualized, who is a woman of power and isn't just seen as a woman with power, but as like a person with power. And like that's so empowering to me. So like I feel like the same way of like the like with David, and like even with the stuff with like Jacob's arc, I think you get like an email from one of the women who are like, hey, thank you again, like I'm still processing everything, but thank you for like helping us. And like people should be allowed to have their space even if it makes other people uncomfortable.
For sure.
And like we just gotta learn to like listen to other people's stories and like video games and like absorb it and like try to see where they're coming from. So I did enjoy that DLC. Overlord DLC was really good. Coming from a social services background, like knowing what people with mental disabilities go through, like it felt good to see them have a second of like to be in the space, I guess.
So with all that said, that leaves me with something that's very important to me, a very important sentence, I don't know, a series of words, that art is made to move you, and if it doesn't move you, then it's bad art. in my opinion. If it's there, whether it's a movie, a game, a book, if you don't feel anything, then it's not good. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, if it makes you feel happy, sad, angry, good, it should. And if it's not making people feel things, then it's not worth the time anyway. And if you feel, if you go into Overlord and that makes you upset and it makes you angry, then good. It should make you feel angry, and you should go and you should take that, and you should make your voice heard, but also don't call for things to be destroyed because it makes you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that there's no point to take things away. Creatives have stories to tell, and those stories should be told. And if you take that away from them, then you're, I don't know, I'm not for the censoring of the artistic ability.
Yeah, there was, I totally forget the name of it, but there was a game created by a father who lost their child to cancer.
That dragon cancer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people got, I don't know if people got upset, but they were like, why would you use a video game to process what you went through, and like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But like, that video game, like, I wasn't able to play it at the time because I didn't have a way to, but like, I watched, I think Jacksepticeye played through it.
I think he's who I watched play it too.
Yeah.
Him or PewDiePie or somebody, one of those guys.
Yeah. I fucking sobbed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like, it reminded me, like, I was upset, I was angry, I was like, damn, that sucks, like, I'm so sorry for this family. But like, stories like that happen on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to hundreds and thousands of families, and like, hearing it and seeing it is like important. So
100%.
Seek discomfort, as Yes Theory would say, because when you seek discomfort, you learn more about yourself and other people.
100%. I'm glad we all agree. And, I mean, of course, if we didn't agree, that'd be fine too, but I'm glad that we all do.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, arts, literature, video games, all of that stuff, it's more than just entertainment. Like, it's a way, like, art is basically a reflection of the world around us. And if you want the world to change, right, and the art that you're seeing to be less offensive, then you need to put your energy in changing the real world first. Because, you know, art is just a byproduct of the world that we live in. And it's trying to censor and erase ugly things that are told in an artistic way is basically just it does nothing. Like, you're just taking an outlet away from people to process difficult things, and creating a world that doesn't exist, basically.
Oh yeah. Shit, I had something. Oh my god, I had something perfectly that I wanted to add to that. Shit. No, I yawned and then I lost it. No.
The amount of times I've done that.
Yes, okay, I got it. And for anybody out there, because I doubt if you're watching this, I highly doubt that you have this feeling. But there are so many people that don't believe that video games are art, and that pisses me off so much. But guess what, motherfucker? It's inside that, I think it's like the special museum or whatever that classifies it. As soon as it entered that museum, it was labeled as art, and it's art forever there moving forward. And there's that fucking son of a bitch out there, Roger Ebert, I'm pretty sure it was him, you movie-watching son of a bitch, that he was like, video games will never be art. Well, fuck you!
There are so many video games that, like, what's that one when you work with two people, but you didn't figure out till the end that it was, like, multiplayer? I forgot.
It's Journey.
Journey, yeah! That game was so cool and so artistic, and yes, it's technically a video game, but, like, at the end of the day, it was more of an interactive, like, art piece than a video game. And, like, I see Mass Effect as, like, a masterpiece of art. Like, the story is, throughout all the three games, like, the whole trilogy, it, like, works so well to make it make you feel like what you're doing is making a difference in this small little world, or galaxy, I guess you should say. And like the storyline from like 1 to 2 to set up to 3, being like, you are the only person who were able to do this because we didn't listen to you in the first place and we're sorry, was fan-fucking-tastic. And like, you can't sit here and tell me like just because the ending of like Mass Effect 3 didn't go the way you want to, or like Andromeda isn't the way you want to, cannot like deflect how BioWare has created probably one of the most fantastic trilogies of all time.
One of my favorite things about the trilogy is that it stresses that our differences are not weaknesses but actual strengths.
Yes!
Yep.
Oh, it's so good!
Because look at what happened to the Protheans, right? The most advanced race in the galaxy, and they died because they were all the same. Like, and the Reapers like totally pegged who they were. But you get a galaxy of different people working together, you know, unconventionally. You know, Reapers can't, you know, atone for that. They can't account for that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's.
I was just gonna say real quick that you said that the Reapers, like they pegged the Protheans. You know, I never thought that the Reapers would be down for that kind of thing.
You can't, with their weird ass looking dildo-y kind of looking spaceships. You kind of can't. Their whole thing is probing like what's called planets. Their whole thing is probing planets.
Not the pegging I was referring to.
I had an even better version of that, but like I was holding the laughing so hard trying not to say it, but I was like, I gotta fucking say it. I got to. It was
like, no, it was like the whole point of like your differences, the differences of the people around you is what makes you stronger. That felt like so nice, because especially in like this kind of like, I'm speaking in America because I know some international people watch this, but like in America right now, it's becoming more white, black and white right now in the political and just like social spaces rather than being gray. So it was kind of nice to be like, yeah, we can work together and make a difference and maybe defeat some aliens. I meant that in like Mass Effect, not in like the American
I know.
way. I just want to clarify that before someone like cancels me for saying that. I'm not saying that. But like, it was really heartwarming, and it made me feel really happy because as someone who's like is in like social services and getting like a social service degree, it's very hard to stay like motivated with the current like culture in America. So it was very nice to play a video game like that. So.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, for me as a mixed race disabled person, like playing Mass Effect, seeing all the different races, you know, yes, they all have their problems with each other and their beef and their long-standing grudges, but faced with this, like, you know, utter extinction and death, they managed to, like, collectively work together to, like, learn to understand each other better, to end this threat. That, to me, like, feels so uplifting. Going off of what Molly said about the current climate in America, like, people are so divided and they're so afraid of people who are different, and it's so unnecessary. You know, when we're all just people, like, there's a lot to be learned from each other. Our differences advance us, push us forward, because if we're all the same, we're not learning, we're not improving, we stagnate. It's like, I don't know if you guys watch Doctor Who, but the Cybermen.
Love Doctor Who.
The Cybermen, okay? Like, they're all the same, yet they never advance. Everything that's beautiful doesn't exist because they have no feelings, they have no emotions, and that's pretty shitty.
Before we go any further, I think we've been going for about almost 2 hours now. I think an hour and a half, something like that.
I was supposed to be asleep an hour ago.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
we should
before
start.
before we ended up, is there anything you guys want to bring up before I call it?
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I would like to see more people in Mass Effect fandom be kinder to each other.
Yes, I concur.
Very much.
Like, we all love these games, so instead of us being assholes to each other, how about we be like, hey, we have something in common, let's build off of that, instead of being like, I hate Caden, I leave him on Virmire.
Yeah.
Like,
trust me.
tell me what you love.
Yeah.
What you love.
Be nice to each other, assholes.
This is how I start the hashtag leave Jacob on Virmire.
No, I don't support that.
I'm sorry, I have to be there.
I guess what I want to say is, like, I'm sad I went this long with not knowing Mass Effect.
I'm glad that we in the Discord gave you that extra push to go do it.
Yeah, I was purposely waiting for, like, the Legendary Edition to come out, but, like, I watched through 1 and I purposely stopped there because I was like, I liked 1 a lot just watching it. I need to see how 2 and 3 is blind. So I'm really happy. I love Mass Effect. I'm restarting Andromeda now with mods because I was playing through it before and it was I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, so I have mods in now to try to enjoy it more. And my writer is so much prettier now. Thanks to recommendations by Jess, because you're amazing. But, like,
Mod Queen.
Yeah, no, honestly, check out Jess's mods. This is actual advertisement because they're all freaking fantastic. And, like, even, like, who made an article that had your mods in it?
I think it was Game Informer.
Yeah,
oh, hell yeah.
One of the biggest magazines for gaming put one of her mods in it. Yeah, maybe you should go check out her mods. But I'm really happy that I played through it. I found a new series that's easily in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks to the fandom for being so sweet and, like, supportive of me playing through it. And, like, enjoying my ramblings in Discord of how fucking wild Mass Effect is.
We love watching you.
Molly.
Yes.
Have you met Reyes Vidal yet?
No, I haven't.
No, she's barely into Andromeda when she started.
When I was doing my first playthrough, I just got to Jal. Like, just got to Jal. So I'm very fresh into it, and, like, even now I'm not that far into it. Like, I just lost my dad. Big sad moment.
Big rip.
You like Zevran, right?
Zevran is a god.
Okay, Reyes is Mass Effect Zevran.
Oh,
but he's voiced by Hawk.
Exactly. Nicholas Bolton, Garrett Hawk's voice, voices Reyes.
No, you're joking.
Yeah.
You're actually
No,
that's him.
Fuck.
And you can romance him. He's my writer's canon romance.
I'm very excited now. I wasn't sure who I was gonna romance before. I was like, oh, Liam's alright, but no, you saw me. Just by Hawk
Liam
and
is weak.
Zevran combined.
Reyes Vidal is, man, there is not enough Reyes, like, in this world.
Probably.
I can feel the heat from here.
If I get to Reyes, maybe I'll record my reaction and post it on Twitter.
You should, because a friend of mine recently just played Mass Effect Andromeda, and she knows I'm a huge Reyes fan. And she finally went to Kadara, and she goes, "Oh my god, my panties dropped. My panties dropped." And I was like, "I told you."
Got it noted in my head. First stop.
But I think, as usual, panties dropping is the best place to end it. So y'all be dropping panties, and I'm gonna drop the mic. Thank y'all for coming by.
That was so bad.
You know me, I gotta drop the cheese. Thank y'all so much for making this with me. I appreciate both of you. Thank you.
Of course.
Jess,
Thank
I hope
you for
to
having me.
Of course, I hope to have you on some more.
Yes.
It would be great. And of course, Molly, as always, I love having you on. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been on my last podcast, but I've been so extremely busy.
I understand.
If you do a Dragon Age one, and you want to talk about mods and stuff,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, definitely.
We should do a mod episode.
We should, and I get to cry out into the heavens why there's no facial hair mods. I need beards! Please! Nobody makes
There
beards.
is facial hair mods.
Not enough. Not enough.
He's too picky about his facial hair.
I am a facial hair connoisseur. My beard needs to be beautiful. I am putting it out there right now, a 500 rupee reward for the person who can give me.
Don't use a real.
No, I was.
I
mean, technically, rupee is a real.
Simoleon.
Rupee is technically real. It's Indian, but it's also the.
Simoleon.
It's also the Zelda money. The Napoleons. But all that kind of money. If somebody can make me some decent beard mods, or at least find some kind of magical way to put Blackwall's beard on my Inquisitor, I don't
Probably
even.
easy, dude.
Probably, but I don't know how to use technology. Anyway. Thank you.
Don't know how to use technology.
Not even a little bit. Thank you so much for stopping by, Thedas. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.